Hello there, this is Roberto Matthews with another tip for you. I'm using Zara Web Designer 10 Premium, and I've already shown you a video on how to add a blog, but I wanted to actually show you why, or give you an idea of why you could add a blog, a dynamic blog to your site. As you can see here, I'm a choir director, and I used a site like this that looks like the rest of my site, or has, the logo and things like that of the school. But instead of constantly updating this site like this, or making several sites with several links, what I'd like to do is embed the iframe here of Blogger, and then basically I can update the blog anytime I want to let my parents know when something's going on, and they can come to my site, and it's official looking and all, but and then it's my own domain and things like that. So let's get going. I'm going to show you how to do it here and on the mobile version also. Okay, so let's start with the regular version here. All we're going to do now, here I already have everything created. As you can see, this is what the blog is going to be. In order to, let me go back to the blog here. In order to get to the blog, here's where you put everything together, of course, all the blogs and things like that. Basically, all you have to do is say view blog. It comes up in a new page just like this. What you're going to do is you're going to copy this area here, and then you're going to come to your Zara Web Designer, or basically any program you want to do this with, but I'm using Zara. And since I've already have all this written out, I'm going to go ahead and delete all of this. Actually, I might keep the welcome there. Let me just go ahead and delete all of this. Now, if you need a tutorial on how I actually added all this information here, all of these videos into my Blogger, just let me know, and I'll go ahead and create a little video on how I embedded all these. But it shouldn't be very difficult to do that. And if I'm sure there are other videos on how to do that on YouTube, but if you'd like me to add a video, just let me know and I'll gladly do it. I just need to know you guys are interested in such a thing. Okay, so what we're going to do now is embed the blog. Okay, so to do that, we have to make sure that the dimensions are correct. Okay, there we go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a placeholder here. So it's really simple to do that. We're just going to create a square. And right now I'm not going to really worry about the dimensions when I'm drawing it out, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the dimensions. I'm going to make sure that the dimensions are perfect here. So I'm going to take away this lock aspect ratio area. Now I know that my page is 960 pixels across. So I'm going to make this have 10 and 10 pixels of margin. So to do that, let's just do 960 minus 20, which is 940. So we're going to go here. I'm going to say 940. Remember, take off the aspect ratio here, 940. Enter, and now we have it in the center here with about 10 pixels of margin on both sides. Okay. Now, how tall do I want to make it? Well, that's really up to you, but I'm going to make this, I don't know, pretty tall. Maybe about 1,000. Let's go ahead and make it 1,000 pixels tall. Okay, and then we're going to just bring our site and make it that long. Very good. Okay, so now that we have what's going to become our placeholder ready here, actually let me bring it down a bit. And bring this down. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now that we have that set up, we're going to go ahead and set our placeholder. Now, it's not much, the hard work is already done with setting up the blog. The next step is just to go ahead and embed the blog. So to embed the iframe, basically you get to just open an iframe here, close it, and then we're just going to have the iframe source be that site. So we're going to do Control V, oops, undo. We have to copy this, I forgot. Go ahead and copy this. Copy and paste. There we go. Now, if we just do it this way and click apply, and then we're going to view here what we have. Okay. So as you can see, the iframe comes out with a default area here with the border and all that. So we don't want any of that. We want to embed it all the way through. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back here and we're going to edit this to give it some dimensions. So the dimensions are right up here, and these are exact dimensions that we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to give it a border of 0, frame border of 0. Okay, and then we're going to give it a width which equals the same width that's up here, 940 pixels, and the same height, 1000. Very good. Now when we say OK, everything's set up. This is the actual blog. So now, oops, let me undo that. So now I'll have everything set up in the right height, the right width. People can scroll through if they need to, and all this will work. So we're going to do the same thing with our mobile site. We're going to go over here to the mobile site. Here's the same thing I had done before, but I want also this to be dynamic. Now, same thing's going to happen here. We have to see how wide our site is, and as you can see, the site is 480 pixels wide in this case. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete this like we said before, because that's all going to be part of what's in the blog. The blog is going to generate, or Blogger rather, is going to generate all this information. Now we don't have to rewrite anything, because basically all we have to do is take this, say copy the HTML placeholder, and we paste the HTML placeholder. There we go. And we're going to just manipulate it here a little bit. Okay, so it looks like it won't fit, but what's great about having Blogger generate everything is that as long as we make the placeholder work correctly, then Blogger's just going to think that it's on a mobile site. So what we're going to do is we're just going to click here, edit it, and the only thing we're going to edit now is how tall and how wide it is. So let's change this to 480. And we're going to keep the height. Okay, and then we're going to make sure that now that everything is flattened a little bit, this fits, but of course our window is still too wide. So we're going to go to, and remember, one mistake I made was it's not 480, that's how wide our window is, but I want it to have about maybe 5 pixels. So 480 minus 10 is actually 470. So we're going to say enter there. We're going to have to go back into the code. Okay, so we're going to go into the code here, double clicking or clicking on widget edit. We're going to change this also to 470 so that it will fit perfectly. And make sure it's centered there. Good. All right, that's centered. Okay, so that's that. Of course, we got to make this a little longer here so that everything will fit. Perfect. Now, of course, it looks like this because it thinks I'm on a regular desktop. But we're going to go and test it. I'm going to go ahead and upload it. We're going to go test it and see what it looks like live. So I wanted to test this on 3 different mobile devices. I have my iPad here, my iPad 4 basically, and I have my old Samsung, actually not old, I have my Samsung Galaxy S4, and then I have an old iPod Touch. So basically on the tablet I have it set up just like the desktop because since it has so much real estate, it doesn't really need to be a mobile site because everything is viewable just fine. As a matter of fact, if I double click, everything is, can be seen. Here they click on the children's choir area. I actually had to take off that banner part here. There's actually something that you have to click to turn it off. So it's not because I'm logged in or not logged in whether or not you see it. So you actually have to turn off that navigation area in Blogger. But as you can see, here's the site inside the site. Okay, so basically when they click on it, comes up, all the videos come up, and then of course they can click on one, starts off, and of course they can blow it up. Okay, so that's a good way to make a dynamic site there. Let's see if it works on my Samsung. Let's go ahead and turn this off, turn this back on. Here's the site. I have it mobile ready here. The site pretty mobilely ready. If I go home here, the site comes up. Okay, I have these, instead of being descriptions, I have them as the buttons. Everything is set up. Here there's the CTK Kids Choir. Now, since this is a child's choir, I'm going to actually delete this Getting Married button because they don't really need that. And as you can see, it has the mobile version of the Blogger site because, as I said before, since it knows that I'm on a phone, it automatically generates the mobile version. If I click on one of these, it expands to the mobile version. And here are all my videos nicely laid out. So if I send an email going to the site here, then it comes up beautifully. And again, if I click on it, it'll load up nicely. And again, they could blow it up. And of course, okay, here it is with a lot smaller iPod touch. We're going to see how this works. Let's go ahead and log in. We're going to use Safari here. We're going to go to the site. Same thing, I have it set up, a little JavaScript there just says that anything that's smaller than 700 pixels to call up the mobile site. And here we go. Same thing as on my Samsung, just a little bit smaller form factor here. And since everything is hosted separately, everything comes up pretty nicely. Same thing, this mobile version of the site. You click on it, and you get the full blog. All the videos should load here since that's hosted on YouTube. So I don't have to worry about any formatting. All I have to do is upload all the videos. I had it upload with all the descriptions so that the parents can see the descriptions. And then, of course, I can click on one of them. And basically it'll work exactly like the iPad because and here we go. So there you have it, how to create a mobile ready site in your Zara web designer. Thank you very much.